If you are an international student already in the UK or a prospective international student, I think you will relate with this video. When someone tells you, before you study in the UK, you need to plan. We all know what that plan is all about. Plan is not just to plan how you will go to school, to how you will study, and all of that. All those ones count. But when you hear someone tell an international student, if you want to go to the UK and study, you need to plan. Plan means the financial planning because the financial planning is the most important aspect of the plan you will make as an international student. You can imagine if you are owing part of your tuition fee and you are being threatened with that letter. I don't know if you've gotten to that point where you are served that letter that says you can't access the library, you can't access the school facilities, you can't even access your classroom, you can't do anything with your student card because you are owing. And that basically means the school have shut you out as a student. So you are now more like non-student in your university. Most times they will give you a period of maybe 2 weeks or a month, depending. And if you don't meet up with the fees they are asking of you, they may withdraw their sponsorship. And once your sponsorship is withdrawn as a student in the UK, you have no basis to stay in the UK anymore. You need to go back to your country. So whatever you do, apart from God, your second God when you come to the UK as an international student is your university. So do everything you can to please them. Do everything within your power, within your means to please the university where you are studying. Because if they ever withdraw their sponsorship, my dear, you are on your way home. And it's that simple. But God no go shame us. Of course, you plan how you will study, how you would graduate, how you would do other things as a student. So since my last video about how I transferred my university program from Nigeria to the UK, I've gotten so many DMs and so many questions. If you haven't watched that video, I think I should leave a link. You should go and watch that video. A lot of people have said they had no idea about that. You can also transfer if you are already in the UK and you are studying a course you don't like and in a university you don't like. You can leave your university and transfer to another university where you feel you may like. People have asked me, as a student, can I work and study? If I can work and study, how viable is that? Is it possible for me to pay my tuition fees? And questions around financial aspects of studying in the UK. And I understand because I mentioned that in my video. And I told you guys to let me know if you would like me to tell you how I made up my tuition fee. And yes, I was expecting those questions I got. So I'll tell you guys how I made up £12,000 to fund myself as a non-sponsored international student in the UK in less than a year. And it's going to be based on my personal experience. You can also apply this to your own situation, right? But this is just my personal experience. This period, I'm sharing my personal studying experience in the UK with you guys, hoping that it may help someone out there who is looking to study or who is already studying in the UK. Hey guys, my name is Chinemerem and you are welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hello, you are most welcome. I hope by now you like what you're seeing. If yes, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell so that when I post new content, you'll be notified. And yes, you come and watch, right? And to my returning subscribers, thank you all for being so amazing. I already told you guys a little bit of my story, and my own case was kind of different because my husband was studying and I was studying, and we had to pay around £28,000 that very year as international students. So the first thing I did was to sit down and think about it. I can't really overemphasize the importance of planning. Even the Bible says it that which one of you that wants to start building a tower won't sit down and calculate the cost and see if he is able to complete what he's about to start. I know back home, we sometimes we tend to do things out of impulse. Most times we just do things basically because we feel know how something will come out, something must show. All right, that's the belief we all have as Nigerians, as Africans. That's our belief that let's just start it somehow something will show and we will complete it, which is somehow, yeah, it works for us sometimes. But if you get to this country, I'd advise you, if there is anything you can do for yourself, it is to sit down and think. Even when you are moving to a new house, whatever you are doing in this country. So I had a baby and my husband was studying as well. I had to pay our tuition fee ourselves. All these things were the things we had to sit down and, think about. Of course, there are other bills to pay. You have to pay water bills, gas bills, feeding, and all of that. After my calculations, I found out that I would need to make at least £2,000 every month. I mean, £2,000, nothing less. Then I calculated how many times I would have to work a week to make £2,000 a month. Of course, the job I could do then was all these menial jobs. I knew that working 4 times a week wouldn't work for me to make £2,000 a month. I was working 7 days a week, like proper 7 days a week. Sometimes I would work 6 times a week, but very rarely. I worked 7 days in a week. So most times I would go for a night shift, and from a night shift, I would go for a day shift. I knew I had a target. And how to meet this target was what I tried doing. The only days I had a little bit of rest was on Sundays. And those Sundays I'll go for a night shift on Saturday night. When I come back, I'll go straight to church after getting ready. No sleep at all. I'll go straight to church. Then after church, I'll come home, eat, and then sleep. That night, I will start again with the hustle. I would go back to work throughout. Sometimes the home I will go and work will be stressful. And then I worked with NHS as well. So sometimes I'll go to the hospital. And some wards can be so stressful. In the UK, you understand better. There are some jobs that would need more trainings than the other. So the job I was doing, I was working as an NHS trainee at that point. Yeah, I was working properly, but they called it training. That training was paying me well. It was paying me not well, but £11 per hour during the day and £13 at night was something that was good. But even at that, I also had other jobs I was doing just to meet up. Childcare is a big deal in the UK. I keep mentioning this. I know most of you will ask about how about your baby? How did you do it? So those days when I went to work, I worked mostly at night. My husband had to take over childcare. And then when I come back, he would go to school and me, I would stay home and do all of that. But at some point, we had to do a visitor visa for my mom, and then she came over. If you have someone that you can bring over from home to come do this for you, it will be better off than paying someone else for this. If you don't have and you have the money to pay, by all means, please go ahead. I'm only saying that if you don't have the money and you are working towards it, I know you will say, but to do a visitor visa will be spending money as well. Yes, you will spend money to do this, but trust me, if you plan it very, very well and work towards it like you should, trust me, you would make up everything you spent for the visa and all of that. So to me, I think it is better off and your peace of mind as well. Like I'm bringing family. I'm not scared. Like me, when I was working then, I wasn't even scared for one day about my kid, whether he will eat or not, because grandmom was always here. So yes, if you can bring someone over, someone you trust, your mom, family, someone that is family, you can bring the person over, of course, and have your time to work. All right. If you are already a student and you have this 20 hours restriction, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but you can also still try and find a way out to work things out. If you are single, of course, you have yourself to yourself. So you are not thinking about anything, you're only thinking about yourself and school. So you basically don't have too much. You can manage yourself, you can manage what you eat, you can stay in a shared accommodation, manage your life. That's basically it. But if you are married, that's where it becomes more somehow. So this is just my personal story, my personal experience. You can also apply it to yours, and you can also maybe, I don't know if it worked for any other person, but it worked for me. When my mom came, she only spent 5 months, and for those 5 months, I worked day and night. That was when I worked the day and night. I was working, and yes, by the end of the 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, it started becoming reality. Like I had like a certain amount of money, and I was like, wow, God. I just, this video will not be complete without me saying thank you, Lord. Because to be honest, it's not because I was strong enough, not because I brought someone else over, not because of anything at all, but because of his special grace. It was God that saw me through, because those days I was working day and night. Anything could have happened, but God held me. God kept me going. God kept me strong. And I was working, my husband was working, and we were saving towards our tuition fee. I said £28,000 for both of us. So it was not easy. By my ninth month of working back to back, the money was almost complete. And before I started school, I had enough money to pay my tuition fee. I paid everything at once. when you start school, they will give you a certain amount of time to complete your tuition fee. If you complete the tuition fee by then, they will give you 10% off. For me, I paid before the deadline, so I was given 10% off. But in my case, I didn't pay the 10% to them. I did my own mathematics, and I did 10% of £12,000, £1,200, right? So I took that £1,200 to myself and paid the remaining one to the university. When I started school, I also continued working, and I didn't have any restrictions to the number of hours I could work because I wasn't on a student visa. I was on a dependent visa. Yes, with a dependent visa, you can study in the UK. So I had all the time to work. I worked as much as I wanted. Yes, so that was how I could work more than 20 hours when I was in school. So there were some side hustles that we did, and I'll share those side hustles with you soon. Just in case as a student you are restricted to that 20 hours a week, you can do these side hustles. Most of them you can do from home. If I did it, I know you can also do it. I'm wishing you the very, very best of luck. Put God first and everything else will follow. And yes, that's it. Until I see you again in my next video, do take care, stay safe, and bye.